Welcome to the Top 5s on Tap podcast. I'm Hayden.
And I'm Josh. Every week we'll be discussing a new top 5. There'll be some facts, some trivia, so feel free to have a guest along at home.
Suggestions for new episodes are always welcome, so if you've got one, email it to us at top5sontap@gmail.com.
We'll consider all topics, providing they are somewhat quantified and aren't entirely opinion-based, because our opinions
mean nothing. With all that being said, let's get into this week's Top 5. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome back once again.
Episode numero 4.
Yes, we're on number 4 now. And this week, if once again, if you can read by the title, it's going to be the top 5 men's football international goal scorers
I think the title will be
in the world.
The title is going to be a bit snappy than that, I think, on the pod. But
hey, we are limited to characters, so we might not be able to fit all that on there. But you'll get the gist.
You'll know by the picture.
Yeah.
The picture will indicate a lot, I think.
So this is the list of the best goal scorers internationally in the world.
It is, yeah, of the male variety.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, you want to jump in straight away with number 5?
I don't think there's much more to say, so why not?
Go for it.
5.
Number 5 is the one and only Lionel Messi.
Sorry, wrong button.
Wrong one.
He doesn't have a catchphrase, does he, Lionel? He needs one. He needs a...
I think his catchphrase is his footballing ability. Yes. He lets his feet speak for his mouth.
He doesn't speak much, does he?
He's a very quiet man.
That is what they say.
I don't know him personally, but
yeah. How many goals has he got, Hayden? How many has he scored?
So Lionel Messi is coming in at 81 international goals currently
in 160 games.
In 160 games,
so,
yeah.
0.51 goal to game ratio, which is not too bad.
It's 81 international goals, 150 international games is pretty impressive. So
pretty good.
Not to be sniffed at. Yeah.
Yeah. So he started his first game in 2005, and has played all the way up to most recently as March 29th, 2022.
So he's basically still plays for Argentina.
Still more
he's
goals.
Still climbing that list.
Did you know he had a trial in Barcelona in the year 2000 before he signed for them?
That makes sense, yeah.
And he impressed the first team director so much that he wanted to sign him immediately.
Oh, at age 14 or whatever.
Yeah, but he had no paper to hand, so his first contract was written on a napkin.
Yes, yeah.
I think since they've got a bit more stricter with that. I think he's got actual contracts now, but first contract's on a napkin. Yeah,
and I believe that was at the time the club was very reluctant to sign him because signing young players from abroad wasn't really the done thing then.
It wasn't. Yeah.
Nowadays it's all the rage. You know, you go and find some young South American child to fly over to your club, but back then it was to spend the money to bring someone over like that, and especially because you have to. Usually, it involves bringing over his dad and his other family members,
maybe his family
dependents
there,
and things. So
very unheard of.
Big commitment, yeah.
Won the most Ballon d'Ors. A lot of Ballon d'Ors.
Is it 7 now?
7 Ballon d'Ors.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we don't want to spend too long talking about him. So should we move on to number 4?
Let's go for it. Number 4.
4.
Number 4 is Ferenc Puskás from Hungary.
The Hungarian himself.
A grand total of 84 goals in only 85 games.
That is incredible.
A 0.99 goal to game ratio.
That is
one goal away.
Incredible.
He must be seething in his grave right now. He's currently not alive, sadly. So sad times for Ferenc. But great goals, nonetheless, from 1945 all the way up to 1956. Only 11 years as well. That's a very short international career.
It is. It's, yeah.
Considering they play an awful lot of games as well back then. So he was really making the most of those 85 games.
Well, it's the only person on the list with under 100 international games.
He is, yeah.
So he's really done well to get himself on there. Yeah.
By quite a bit as well. Everyone else played a considerable amount. Came second in the Ballon d'Or in 1960.
He did,
to the time-travelling Luis Suarez.
Yep, that's the one, yeah.
To a different Luis Suarez than the Uruguayan Luis Suarez, to a Spanish Luis Suarez, who was also born in that era.
Very successful in his own right, though. He was.
He was a very good player.
Won a lot of trophies. He also, for his international team, they didn't quite win any proper championships, but they did win an Olympic medal.
Oh, did they? What did they win?
He was Olympic champion
in
1952. So he won the gold medal with Hungary.
Oh, that's very good of them.
Yeah.
Not quite a World Cup, but it's still something, though, isn't it?
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
more Olympic gold medals than I've won. Do you know what happened in 2009? Not to Ferenc because he was long gone, but...
Yeah, well, in his honour,
honour.
They announced the Ferenc Puskas Award.
It is? And what kind of goal is that for?
It's for the most aesthetically significant or most beautiful goal of the calendar year.
Beautiful goal. Yeah, so in homage to his beautiful goal scoring, they made an award after him. He didn't only just play for Hungary, though, did he? He also played a couple of games for Spain.
He did, interestingly, yeah.
So,
he didn't score any goals, though, so that didn't count towards his tally.
He did play 3 at the World Cup, though, in the 1962 World Cup for Spain. Yeah. Known as the Canocito Pum, which translates as the little booming cannon in Spanish.
Fair enough.
He was only 5'8".
Ah, right, okay.
But not the smallest player on this list, actually. I did actually have a look at the heights.
Wow, okay.
But yeah, should we move on to number 3?
Let's get on to it.
3,
Number 3 is, of course, or perhaps not of course, Mokhtar Dahari.
It is.
All the way from Malaysia.
Yeah, bet you didn't guess this one coming.
If you did know that one, give yourself a pat on the back because that's some niche footballing knowledge.
Any Malaysian listeners out there?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
He played his first match for FA Selangor in the Burnley Cup.
The Burnley Cup?
Burnley Cup, which we'll talk about in great detail later because
that's pretty interesting.
There's plenty to say about the Burnley Cup.
Because that does not strike me as a Malaysian sounding tournament.
Burnley is not in Malaysia, I can confirm. My geography teacher taught me well.
But how many goals did he score for Malaysia?
He scored 89 goals
89?
in 142 games. So 0.62 goals a game, so slightly better than Lionel, but not on Ferenc levels. That's no Puskás.
It's not, no. But his recognition only came quite late. I don't know if you know this.
He did, yeah.
But he's only last year, he was actually his goals were accepted and he was tallied onto the goal scoring charts.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so up until last year, he wasn't actually on the charts officially.
There's a reason for that, do we know?
It's because some of his goals were disputed, against, like whether matches were classed as like competitive matches and things like that. But FIFA's now said just because it was in Asia doesn't mean it's not competitive matches because he's playing against people of the same level and stuff like that.
For the country, it's
still representing his country, exactly. Yeah. So they finally recognised all his goals and he. So for a long time, he was actually the number 1 top goal scorer, and he wasn't recognised as the number 1 top goal scorer. Okay. Yeah.
So he got a bit hard done by that.
Yeah.
It helped Malaysia reach its highest ever ELO in 1977, 61. So that's pretty good for not a massively prosperous footballing nation like Malaysia.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the last little fact: in 1975, he scored 2 goals when the Malaysian national team played Arsenal in a friendly game.
Really?
So there's a national team versus a club in a friendly.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
Which led to lots of rumours about English top 5 clubs wanting to sign him. And after the game, he actually had an offer from none other than footballing giants Real Madrid.
Wow.
But he chose to decline because of his patriotism and his love of his country.
That's incredible to turn down that sort of offer, though.
Yeah, that's very then, patriotic.
Even back in the 70s or 80s, whenever it was.
They'd have been offering some serious moolah, I'm sure.
Yes, yeah.
But he loved his beloved Malaysia and his Selangor too much.
Yeah.
So, hats off to you, Mokhtar. Number 3.
Super Mock.
I like Super Mock.
2,
Number 2 is Ali Dai from Iran.
From Iran, yeah.
With a whopping, so big jump up. So 89 for Mokhtar, 109 for Ali Dai in 148 games.
For a long time, he was the only player to have scored over 100 international goals.
He was, and someone has scored more than him to get to number 1.
Well, that's why he's number 2.
So 0.74 played from 1993 to 2006.
Impressive.
First player to reach 100 goals, very impressive. First Asian player to play in the Champions League as well, and to score in the Champions League.
Yes, yeah.
For Hertha Berlin in 1999 against Chelsea in a 2-1 win.
Well, I don't think he could really get his, despite playing very well for Iran and smashing in goals all over the world against teams much better than Iran. He couldn't ever seem to get his place in his in Hertha Berlin team, could he?
No, he played for Bayern as well, briefly.
He couldn't seem to break into the first squad, and he ended up going back home to Asia, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Don't call it a day on Europe. There's not much going on here. I did enjoy at the top of his Wikipedia page. It did say not to be confused with Ali Dia,
Ali Dia, yes, yeah,
the famed footballing fraud.
Yeah, definitely not on the same level of footballing ability there.
Don't think he scored any international goals as Ali Dia, but managed to convince Graham Souness to sign him anyway.
Is that the famous Ali Dia, George Weah's cousin?
If you believe what he says on the phone,
right? Okay, yeah,
because he does answer the phone. Hello, Ali Dia, George Weah's cousin. So
yeah.
Whether you put much truth to that is really down to your own gullibility, I think. And Graham Souness was feeling very gullible back in November 1996.
So anyway, but I think it's time for the big number one.
Who could it be, Hayden? Who could number one be?
It's Ronaldo.
Of course it is. Of course.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Who else was it ever
Viva
going
Ronaldo.
to be? So many songs, so little time to sing them.
Yes.
You got a number. How many goals did that man score for Portugal?
I believe he's currently 109 goals.
109 goals. Wowzers.
It's a lot of goals.
I got it down as 115.
You got it 115?
Yeah, how have we got different?
I've also got 115. I got two different lists. One of them must be very out of date.
Is this your Ballon d'Or, Messi 6 and 7 list?
This is exactly that, yeah. But it just has a bit of variety, a bit of variety. People think, wow, 109, and you sucker punch you with 115, and it's all that much more impressive.
Even better, because 109 would be tied with Ali Dai if it was that. So we'd have a joint first.
Ah, okay, yeah. Actually, that's probably what I'm reading there. That's my fault.
That makes sense. 186 games, 0.62 goal to game ratio. 2003 was his first international, and obviously still playing now, as of 20th of March 2022. His full name, Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. Do you know why he was called Ronaldo?
No.
His father was actually a very big fan of former US President Ronald Reagan.
Really?
So in a parallel...
That is very unusual.
In a parallel universe somewhere, there might be a very good footballer called Cristiano Ronald and a US president called Ronaldo Regano.
Ronaldo Oregano.
Maybe in a world somewhere.
Wow, that's some interesting knowledge.
2010, he got what he's always wanted in life. He got his waxwork in Madame Tussauds, becoming the fourth footballer after. Do you want to have a guess at the other the three footballers that have a waxwork in Madame Tussauds?
I'm going to say Gary Lineker.
No, Gary Lineker.
Really? Bobby Moore.
No, Bobby Moore.
Pele.
Pele is one of them. Pele does have a...
Maradona.
No, Maradona. Two English players. One from not too long ago, one from a slight bit long ago.
Shearer.
Not Shearer.
Beckham.
Of
course.
I'll save you the pain of the last one. Steven Gerrard, David Beckham, right. Pele, and then Ronaldo in 2010.
Very good.
A little link to another player on the list. He was the first recipient of the 2009 Puskás Award.
Was he?
Yeah, he was, for a goal he scored against Porto. It's that really long-range strike from 35 yards.
Yeah.
In the semi-finals of the Champions League while playing for Man United. Have you got any more interesting things you've learned about Ronaldo along the way? Because he's a very interesting guy.
Yes, he does not drink alcohol.
He does not.
And he's very vehement about the fact that he does not drink alcohol, to the point that he actually sued the Daily Mirror for libel. Exactly, yeah. For libel over an article that's reported him drinking heavily.
Wow.
The fact he doesn't drink may or may not be linked to his father's alcoholism when he was young.
I read about that, yeah.
His father died when he was 20 from alcohol-related illnesses.
Never good, is it?
No, it's not, no. So congratulations to Ronaldo, once again, for being number one.
Congrats, Cristiano.
You're number one in many people's hearts as well, I imagine.
Number one in a top five coming up, maybe, as well.
Well, that would be spoilers.
It would. It's completely unfootball related as well, so he's...
It could be anything. It could be top 5 fastest cars. And Ronaldo is the top 5 fastest car.
Unlikely, but we never know.
I'm just trying to throw people off the scent. I don't want any spoilers going on.
Pre-Googles. Yeah. Some facts for you. Puskás Award, we've talked about it a lot. The Glorious Goal Award.
Yes.
Until 2018.
Yep.
It was fan voted for. So the winner was...
as it should be.
Voted by fans. Well, this is the issue. 2018. We had a few naughty fans.
But that's the way it is. That is football.
So do you know who won the 2018 Puskás Award?
I do not know.
It was Mohamed Salah for a goal he scored against Everton. The goal was nice. We took on a few players and finished it. But in the same year, we had the likes of Bale's overhead kick in the Champions League final. Ronaldo's overhead kick against Juventus.
So it became a popularity competition, what you're telling me.
Yeah, Benjamin Pavard's amazing volley in the
World Cup. I cannot believe that would become a popularity competition.
So, so this is the issue. So once that won,
no more fan votes.
Puskas Award went, you know what, the fans can vote.
Well, someone's nominated it though, so perhaps they should.
So there's about 10 that get nominated, and then that won, but it was obviously not expected to win.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo's overhead kick came second, and I think Bale was a bit further down. But it wasn't the best goal basically that year. So they basically said, right, the fans can vote for the top 3, and then there'll be a panel that selects the number 1 to avoid this controversy from ever happening.
To avoid the controversy
ever again.
And one thing I noticed, I've not actually checked this. I did see that it said the best goal by a man or woman.
Yeah,
has a woman won it yet?
I do not think so. No, I don't think so. But one day.
One day, yeah.
I've got some facts for you about the Women's Football League, actually, if you want to hear some.
Okay.
It's a bit rogue.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting this direction, but I'm open to it.
So Hayden, if we were to include women on this list,
okay,
do you think it would shake up in any way? Do you think there'd be a bit of a shake up in the top 5?
I get the feeling, based on some of the women's football matches I've watched, namely the 14-0, or was it 13 or 14-0 win by the
American
USA?
thrashing against like Thailand or something like that?
Yeah. I get the feeling there's going to be a lot of women with a lot of international goals.
You would be right in that. So our main man Cristiano Ronaldo is currently top of the... He would be down to joint 5th place.
Joint on the exact same goals?
On the exact same goals as Marta from Brazil. So 115 goals, but all the way down to 5th.
Right, okay.
So ahead of him would be Julie Fleeting from Scotland with 116 goals in 121 games, 0.96 goal 9 ratio.
That's Ferenc Puskas level.
She's only 5 games off Puskas. She's retired though now, retired in 2015. We have Brigitte Prince from Germany, 128 goals in 3rd place.
All right.
Abby Wambach from America, 184 goals, big step up this time.
That's a lot of goals.
So 115 for Ronaldo, 184 for Abby Wambach. Yeah. And in 1st place on 188 goals, Christine Sinclair from Canada.
Right, wow. 188 goals.
How many games do you think it took her to take?
184, 188.
184, 188 for first. How many games do you think it took her to get to 188 goals?
Well, I mean, basically that other one was pretty much on the money for one, wasn't she? So is she close to 1 for 1?
No, and she's not actually. 0.61 goals per game ratio. 306 caps.
Jesus Christ!
So I'd look into that. Why there's a lot more caps in the women's game. There's a few reasons to think for it. There's nothing really definitive, but essentially, I think it's somewhat down to there's fewer teams in the leagues. So you typically only have kind of 12 teams in a league, whereas
so they get like more downtime between seasons.
Yeah, so I suppose if your men's league has kind of 18 to 20 teams in it, you're kind of getting like 12, 14 more games.
Yeah.
So there's less time to play international. So there's more international tournaments as well.
Okay.
And there's also a lot more respect in the women's game for friendlies and lower league friendlies.
Right.
So where kind of maybe say our big players mid-season in the men's league will get rested for a friendly.
Yeah, they're not going to get sent off to he's like, we got Chelsea next week in the league. You're not flying off to blooming Barbados to go play.
Not playing San Marino or whatever. So where Harry Kane might miss a few games, most of the women are well up for the friendlies. So,
fair enough. Yeah.
So it tends to result in more caps and
you actually want to represent the country for once.
They do.
Oh,
it's very admirable, to be quite honest with you. More caps, more goals. Congratulations to Christine Sinclair making
that's incredible.
number 1 on the list.
I mean the amount of fixtures as well. That's also. How many's what's the most on the men's list?
I think Cristiano Ronaldo has a record, and he's like 180 odd. I think
most
it is.
Caps.
Cristiano Ronaldo, I think he has the most caps. Is it him or it could be Ali Dia actually.
But either way, he's definitely nowhere near the 300 and odd.
No. Cristiano Ronaldo's up to 186 caps at the moment.
Wow. So it's like double his caps then.
Yeah, so she's on 306. Well, that's a big step up.
Huge. Well done, women.
We got a quiz for you. Do you want a quiz, Hayden? Do you want a nice quiz?
Josh, I always say this. I always am ready for a quiz.
I don't know why I asked. I should just jump straight into it. I should just start quizzing you. So, it's very sad. Obviously, we've gone through the list of top 5s.
Yep.
And there's been not a single Englishman on the list.
Ah, yes.
So
sad.
So sad. Because, the UK made the last list of tea drinking countries. We were number 4.
And the thing is, there's a song about how England is the home of football, so
it's coming out one day.
yeah.
But can you name me the top 5 England all-time goal scorers?
Yeah, so that will be...
In no particular order. It's up to you.
That'll be Wayne Rooney.
He's currently number 1, but maybe not for long.
Harry Kane.
Harry Kane at number 2, slowly but very quickly catching up on Wayne Rooney.
Charlton.
I like it. Name the surname, not the first name. Cover your bases.
Bobby Charlton.
Bobby Charlton, yeah.
I'm going to take it Jack Charlton isn't on there.
I think he's further down, not in the top 5. Currently tied, technically, in second with Harry Kane, but Bobby Charlton is probably not going to score many more England goals in the upcoming international fixtures.
Probably not, no.
Don't think he's been selected for the Qatar World Cup, has he?
I think he was just outside selection.
I think he's number 24.
He's reserve player, I think, yeah.
24th man in the squad, I think.
I think so. He's unlucky to get him.
Number 4, number 5, they're gettable, definitely.
Are they current era?
One played from 84 to 92, and the other one played from 59 to 67. So one.
Is Lineker on there?
Lineker is number 4, yeah. He's got 48 goals with that classic Panenka that he tried. So he could have been level with Bobby Charlton for a while on the top ever, but he never quite made it to number 1. So he's always been
never made it.
So now he's down to 3rd technically. Jimmy Greaves is the last one.
Jimmy Greaves,
44 goals.
Fair enough.
57 games, very very impressive. Kane's goal scoring is also very impressive. 69 games, 49 goals. So
yeah, that's not bad at all. That is
almost like a 6-6, 6-7 ratio, if not better even.
Yeah. Got any more interesting facts about anyone else? Or should we go back to our top 5 for a bit?
Yeah, can do.
So earlier, Josh, you mentioned about this Burnley Cup.
Sorry, do you mean the Burnley Cup?
The Burnley Cup.
And
it piqued my interest. So I'd like to know more about this.
I thought you might do. I got a lot of
Malaysian
facts
tournament.
So yeah, earlier we mentioned Mokhtar Dahari, our Malaysian third placer. Yeah. Also the smallest man on the list as well. 5'4", 5'4" inches. Very small.
5'4", little pocket rocket, eh?
Yeah, Ali D was very tall as well, 6'4". So good foot between them. So he played his first game in the Burnley Cup. But how did the Burnley Cup come to be, you ask? Great question. So in 1961, a man by the name of Chu Seng Ki, who was the Malay national football team coach at the time, before it became Malaysia. So he departed to England to study some footballing training techniques.
As you do, like I said, home of football. So
yeah, arrived in England, and he was sent by the English Football Association as a guest to Burnley Football Club in the northwest.
Okay.
And Sheffield FC in the northeast. East.
So when was this again?
So this would be 1961.
Right, okay.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah, so a long time ago. And then so he did a 6-month coaching course, and he was about to return to Malaya, as it was at the time. And he was awarded 2 trophies. He wasn't expecting it, but he just got given these 2 trophies.
Take it back with him.
Take these trophies back with you, pal. Have you brought a second suitcase for souvenirs? Because we've got your 2 trophies here.
Chuck your clothes away. Here you go, lad.
Let's hope we didn't take him over his baggage allowance. So he's got these 2 trophies, and one was the Burnley Cup to be awarded to youth players under 19.
Oh, right,
and one was the Sheffield Cup to be awarded to youth players under the age of 15.
Oh, right. So it's like youth tournament cups.
Youth tournament cups, yeah.
So they must have been trying to build Malaysia's
youth system.
Youth system,
so
right.
Give him some trophies to play some tournaments with. But so our main man Mokhtar, he made his appearance, I think, in 1972, I think it was, and they ended up winning the Burnley Cup. But in 1973, disaster strikes.
Oh no!
So the Burnley Cup is no longer the Burnley Cup.
Oh no!
It's renamed to the Razak Cup after Tun Abdul Razak, who's the former Prime Minister of Malaya.
I mean, that's fair enough. I can't wait for the Tony Blair Carling Cup.
But as it was being renamed for the next season, the 1993 season, it's been lost. The Burnley Cup is no more.
Oh my God.
Since 1972, no one has seen the Burnley Cup. So they renamed it in 93. They went, where is this cup that we just renamed? Went back to the team that won it, and they went, we don't have it.
I believe we have a dog that's quite good at finding trophies.
I think Pickles might be in retirement by now.
Oh, okay, right.
I think he might have, his trophy hunting days might be behind him. But so since 1972, no one has seen the Burnley Cup. So 50-year anniversary of the Burnley Cup going missing. Maybe we could get our followers to try and get together and relocate this Burnley Cup.
If you live in Malaysia and you're listening right now, and you know someone who has the Burnley Cup, please contact the local authorities and bring Burnley home.
If you're in Burnley as well, please also get involved in the search.
Someone might have accidentally sent it to Burnley. It might have got like in the post and someone's gone, the Burnley Cup? Oh, that must belong in Burnley. And it's ended up now it's in some post office in Burnley waiting for Mokhtar Dahari to come pick it up.
For 50 years.
Wow, what a mess.
50 years set in a post office.
What a mess.
But that was the story of the Burnley Cup. Anyway. I hope you feel informed.
Yeah, that was very interesting, yeah. You want to know some more about Frank Puskas?
I do. I very much like Ferenc, so yeah.
He was a very successful goal scorer.
He was.
In club football, he was basically, destroying everything. When he went to Real Madrid, he was the Spanish league top goal scorer in 1960, 1961, and 1963 and 1964. So
impressive.
Almost like 4 consecutive. There's a year where he wasn't quite on it, but also in those years, he won the Spanish league in 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. So he was like instrumental in an amazing
that's very impressive
Real Madrid squad. Yeah, and to come from another country, I suppose, back in the day when people didn't really travel between countries.
True,
he was like one of the first like international football stars.
Play outside of his home country.
Exactly, yeah. So to do that and then still perform at that level in other countries,
the best of the era, basically.
Yeah, exactly. He's gone from his home country somewhere else, a whole new league of players, and he's still top dog. It's very impressive.
It is. I've got a nice history, if you like, of the actual total goal scorers. So in terms of how it kind of laid out.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
If you're an Eagle Eye for years, you probably can work it out by now. But basically, yeah. So Puskás very much was leading the pack with his 84 goals. He scored his 84th in 1956.
Wow, yeah.
And that record stood
way before everyone else.
Yeah, so for a good nearly 20 years, even longer actually, about 24 years. So Mokhtar Dahari, our main man of Malaysia, came around and he scored his 85th goal in 1980. So Puskás' record standing for almost 24 years.
Wow.
Against Kuwait, and then he went on to score 89 goals in total. And then it took another 24 years again. So 2004, Ali Day break that 89 record by scoring his 90th goal against Lebanon in 2004. And then became the first player to score 100 goals. And he ended his career total on 109. And then when do you think Cristiano Ronaldo got onto that list? When do you think he broke the record?
I'm going to say 2018.
Well, not a bad guess. Quite recently, really. 2020, 2021.
Yeah, because he's not that many goals over, is he? So
yeah, so he reached the milestone after scoring a brace against Sweden in 2020 in the Nations League.
Oh, right, okay.
So,
yeah.
And then he's
quite recent then, yeah.
Gone on to score a few more after that.
Very good.
But he's given himself some distance, I think, from the rest of the pack. So I think he might be holding that record for some considerable time, unless Lionel pulls his finger out in these last few years of his international.
Yeah, someone's got to keep catching him up.
I've got quite a few facts about international players who scored 50 goals. So there's quite a few international players who scored 50 goals. 71 in total.
Right, so this is like the list down to basically like
50 and above, but of all nations, so multiple people from multiple nations. So so it's
not like the top goal scorers from a nation.
So 71 in total. So you got 2 nations. They've got 4 goal scorers. They've scored more than 50.
Yeah.
One is Brazil.
Yeah.
One is another one on our list that we've mentioned. One of our players on our list comes from.
Argentina.
Not Argentina, no.
Portugal.
Not Portugal, no.
Hungary.
It's Hungary. Hungary has 4 goal scorers as well, all in olden times.
In the olden times.
In the olden times. So you got Sandor Kosisk, Imre Schlosser, Tejos Tici, and Ferenc Puskás.
I'm sorry from anyone from Hungary who had to listen to that.
They were horrendous pronunciations. I can only apologise.
You can just bleep them instead if you want.
I said those ones because I don't think you're going to guess them. But do you want to try and guess the Brazilians who scored more than 50 goals?
Yes. Pele?
Yes, he has. He is the all-time Brazilian goal scorer with 77 goals.
Ronaldo.
The other Ronaldo. He is number 3 on the list.
El Phenomenon.
62 goals he scored.
Someone else. Kaká. Has he scored lots of goals?
Not Kaká, no. Player still playing. Very prolific for Brazil.
Neymar.
71 goals. Only 6 behind Pele. So
Oh, wow. Fair enough.
Could still definitely catch him. And the last one's a bit rogue. You might get it, you might not. Played all the way up to 2005. 1987 to 2005.
1987, 2005.
Yeah, so the era just before Ronaldo.
Romario,
great shout. Yeah, Romario with 55 goals for Brazil. So of all the confederations that have scored 50 goals,
yes,
Asia is leading the way with 30 players from Asia.
Really?
Have scored over 50 goals.
Yeah. Is that because do they have like long dynasties of players over there? The guys who play for like long periods of time.
There's historic stuff. I think players obviously who are quite good playing for the same team for a long time. Also, I think just generally the quality of the opposition tends to be very varied.
When you can go and like smash Vanuatu or something.
Yeah, and also like qualifiers for stuff, you play a lot kind of worse teams. So I think in Europe we've only kind of got those few teams that are quite bad.
Yeah.
I.e., apologies, San Marino, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, but.
Sad times.
But I've got an interesting one for you. So, Common Ball, 8 players, CAF 6, CONCAF 6,
CONCAF,
OFC, the Oceanic.
For anyone who doesn't know football, what were those acronyms you just threw at me there?
Common Ball is the
CONMEBOL is South America.
South America, yes. CAF is the African teams.
Yep.
CONCAF is North America and Central America.
That is correct.
And OFC is the Oceanic Federation of Football.
Yeah.
So the Oceanic Federation currently has none. No players. Yet, Tim Cahill from the nation of Australia has 50 goals.
Blimey, mate.
How come he's not considered to be in the Oceanic Federation of...
Did he not play for Australia?
No, he definitely played for Australia.
Did he score a goal illegally?
He did not score any illegal goals, not to my knowledge. It's to do with the federation that Australia play in.
Oh, Australia play in Asia.
So since 2006, the Australian Football Federation moved from the OFC to the AFC.
The largest landmass in Oceania doesn't play in Oceania, so that makes sense, yeah.
So they did it for a few reasons. The one they claim is for more competitive football, but the one that most people suspect is due to the way the World Cup works and the qualification. So from 1978 up until 2002, so this is 4 years before they moved in 2006.
Yep.
They never qualified for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Since 2006, since they moved, they've qualified every year for the World Cup.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it?
So the way it works is basically the Oceanic team, the top seed from the World Cup qualifications, has to play a Central American...
I think it's South American team
they play two, so they play a Central American, North American and a semi. And then the winner of that has to play the 4th place South American qualifier.
That's a tough route.
So you end up in a game against kind of Peru or Colombia. So it's quite hard for a New Zealand to make it through. But they're still in it at the moment. The qualifiers haven't finished yet.
Yeah, of course. But I mean, it's still a tough route though, isn't it?
It's much harder.
I think in previous years as well, Brazil sometimes ended up in that 4th spot.
Yeah.
It's not you want to be playing against.
You don't want to get drawn up against the one team that's never missed the World Cup.
Playing against Mexico and then Brazil or something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for Samoa.
Yeah.
Just the last fact about 50 goals. The fastest player to ever score 50 goals was a Danishman by the name of Paul Nielsen.
Okay.
Who played in from 1910 to 1925. He scored 52 goals in his career in 38 games.
Wow.
1.37 goal per game.
International goals?
International goals
that
for
is
Denmark
incredible.
in the 1910s and 1920s.
Oh, there we go. Right. You had to drop that one in.
So, at a time when football wasn't very prolific.
That makes a bit more sense.
There was a few people who could play it very, very well, and many people who couldn't. He scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
But still, nonetheless, very good record.
I mean, before like the offside rule and things like that.
He could have very much
when games are like 8 or 9-0 every time.
Every team played kind of a 2-5-4 formation.
Yeah. The reverse pyramid.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I think I'm all out of facts, mate.
You know, I've got an interesting one for you, Josh. I believe that everyone has the potential to be the world's top goal scorer.
Really?
Yeah. And the only reason that I personally am not is because I didn't receive any sort of like enhancement surgeries in my childhood.
Didn't get any growth hormones.
Exactly. So both Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo had to receive medical treatment when they first started playing
Right,
for their respective clubs. Messi was a bit on the short side, so am I. So, that's one of my limiting factors. But he got growth hormone treatments and ended up being as tall as I am now. So, he almost made it. And then, so he needed this because at the time he was struggling to keep up with like all the other kids in Barcelona's club. And
yeah,
actually, no, this was before he moved to Barcelona when he was playing for Newell in Argentina, and they couldn't afford the treatment.
right.
And that's one of the reasons that kind of forced the move to Barcelona and helped encourage like Messi's parents to sign the contract because they Barcelona agreed to give him treatment when he was
they were going to pay for it. Yeah. Right, I see. So,
and then Ronaldo had a racing heartbeat. He had a very fast pulse. So what they did, they used lasers to laser some of his cardiac veins together and to lower his heart rate.
Right, so he's got some special heart.
That's what I'm saying. Is a bit of growth hormones and a lower heart rate.
Some lasers.
I could have been the world's top goal scorer. And
I think we'll leave that one as a debatable fact.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know.
How many football goals do you reckon you've scored in your lifetime? In all competitions?
In all competitions. Competitive or non-competitive?
Everything.
Does a keeper have to be in the net for it to count? Or
yeah, we'll say it has to be in a standard footballing format. There has to be some competition in the net.
Do you have to be playing in a game?
No, not necessarily playing. It can be for a bit of fun with some friends, but it can't be an open goal.
I'm going to say sub 50. Ronaldo's probably scored more international goals than I've scored goals in my life
in football. So I think we got a way to go, haven't we? Really?
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you don't know with the enhancements.
I know. Oh dear me. I've got nothing left unless you've got anything exciting about football you want to slide in there just before we finish.
I think we're risking just talking too much about football. I know we'd love to do a whole podcast series about football.
We would love to do
We appreciate that some of our listeners are not the most interested people in football.
I like to think even though the football facts have been heavily football based, there is stuff to learn there.
Yes,
it wasn't too much about football, despite every fact being about football.
It's always great quizzing knowledge,
I think so. I think if you've not learned something from today's podcast, then what are you doing, I suppose?
Stop listening. Yeah. Please don't stop listening.
Yeah, please don't. Tell your friends.
Please just listen. Just turn the volume down or something.
Tell your friends. Yeah, we need that click-throughs. We need those click-throughs. Yeah, I think that's all it. Are we saying goodbye to, you learnt your Hungarian? Say goodbye to Frank Puskás's great-grandchildren?
I have not learnt how to say it in Hungarian, so I'll say it in German instead. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen to our German listeners. Sorry you didn't make the list today. I've always got to apologise,
It can never be someone on the list, can it?
It can't be.
Otherwise, your catchphrase is nothing.
That's the thing. I can't apologise to someone if they made the list. I can't be like, sorry, all you Portuguese fans, and I don't know how to say goodbye in Portuguese anyway.
Me neither.
I'm going to have to do some revision for next week, I think.
Learn a new language.
Learn a new language that's not on the top 5 list.
What is next week's? That's a question.
There'll be plenty of languages on the list.
Top 5 most popular languages. Yeah. Well, that's a good episode actually for the future.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you very much.
Yeah, let's call it.
And
thanks for listening.
See you next time.
Bye bye.